And to go back to kind of like the first responder stuff, man, like to have to be a cop now and like you got to make some decisions, like that's crazy. Like I remember being like set up on a rooftop and like it was a hostage deal and sitting there and you're waiting for to see what's going to happen or how this is going to play out. Like you're up there by yourself, you're up there for hours, and you're not like at that time you're not sitting there thinking like, okay, like even if this is right, is it going to be right? Like is everything going to be okay? Like how is it? And I think not everyone's probably in that mindset, but like I think most cops would be lying if they said it doesn't come into their brain, right? Like,
oh yeah,
dude, do I like I know that there's been cities that have talked about waiting to like be fired upon to use force. Like I'm like, that's crazy talk.
Yeah.
Like the guy has to shoot at you before you can protect yourself or someone else. Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
And I just like, dude, it scares me for the future, man. Like it really does. Like I'm like, gosh, dude.
I wonder if that says a lot about our legal system, our lawyers. Our lawyers are so powerful now. They're so powerful and they're so wealthy because they just suck all the money out of every case. I wonder if it's just the lawyers have just found the weaseled their way around, and if you as a police officer shoot somebody and there's any question whether because it's subjective, right? Like there could be many cases in which you fire and it's subjective. Like, well, someone after the fact comes and says, make some case that maybe that it wasn't justified, but they weren't in the moment. You were in the moment. And, you know, people get put away for that because these lawyers are, I don't know if you've seen anything in your time where you've had to, you know, maybe be on trial for anything or be a part of a trial or anything. Have you seen any of that?
Yeah. Like we've had, like there was not tons, but there was plenty of guys on our team that had like civil suits brought against them or other things like that. Never like in a criminal court, right? Like when you get into a use of force, you're in Arizona, right? You are the suspect in a homicide, and then they're just trying to figure out if it's justified or not, right? So for the ones I was involved of, they were all like real cut and dry. But it's still uneasy when you have like some defense attorney like talking to you, acting like you did something wrong, and you're like, dude, this guy like pulled a gun out of his waistband and pointed at my face. Like, what are you talking about?